Good evening.
Everywhere I go on this island, it seems to me I find degeneracy.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes. See, it's a lot scarier when there's no motive, Sid.
We have a bargain.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
Do you feel the pain? Well, let's see now. Pain, I can assure you, will be exquisite.
Watch a few movies, take a few notes.
His entire work consists of violence, all the time. Obsessed with the issue of violence. Mayhem, gouging out of eyes, autopsies on the stage.
Come. It is time to keep your appointment.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome back. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We've done the whole thing. It is episode 216 of Double Feature Horror Show. I hope you're all well. Massive thanks to Lawrence, who wasted no chance whatsoever, just no opportunity that anyone would gazump him. After a few weeks of being pipped to the post in the first Super Chat of the night stakes, he got in there first with a lovely £5, which I'm very grateful. Who will be the first Super Chat of the year? Well, Lawrence, you have nabbed it. Well done. Well done. Not taking any chances. Thank you very much. If you want to be... Oh, how handy is that, Dr. Prepper? Yes, gouging out of eyes. Oh, so apt, isn't it? So apt. Distant Night say, where's mine? Oh, I am not seeing it. I am not seeing it in StreamYard. Hang on, let me check in the other back end.
If it was sent prior, sometimes they don't show like in the main bit until we go live. Otherwise, yeah, if you sent it a while back,
I do not have it. Is it? No. That's the only solution, Distant Night, is you're gonna have to send another one. It's neither back end has it. It's drastic times call for drastic measures. What can I say, my friend?
Is YouTube stealing from you?
Oh, have they just gone off with it? Have they pocketed it?
I think they've stolen it.
I won't put it past them. Oh dear. Well, TCG, how does it feel to be back?
Oh, it feels like a new year has begun. We are getting that little bit older, and life is just dragging. So, in other words, fan-friggin-tastic.
Oh, that Peter Hitchens impression is, it's left a mark on you, man.
I'm getting closer to his age now, and it's very tragic. I was trying to do some things to make myself younger, but then I realized it wasn't working, so I decided I wouldn't actually do anything about it, and I'll just complain about it, but I won't offer any solutions because nobody will listen, or the people that do listen are too young to do anything about it. And when they are old enough to do something about it, I'll tell them that they weren't old enough, that they didn't listen to me the first time, even though there was nothing they could physically do because they were still in their nappies.
Oh man, all you need to do is mention your fully index searchable blog and that Blackstones has signed copies, and we're there.
I have plenty of references. You can find my Substack, or you can read my article in the Daily Mail.
Oh no, now you've definitely triggered him. He will correct anyone that he writes in the Mail on Sunday. It's one of his go-tos.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, before we get into it, Black Christmas, we're dealing with something that is a 50. The original Black Christmas is 52 years old, and I feel close to that. It's like I don't know. This Christmas, man, it was the first one where I really felt I was on the other side of things. Lots of little kids around, and it's like, oh man, you're like really, really making Christmas happen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Changes it. First, there's always been a bit of it, but my goodness, I felt it this year.
Yeah.
Oh. Hello. Mr. Distant Night has managed to get it resent. Fantastic.
Excellent.
Here we go. Distant Night saying for $10 of the Aussie variety, thank you so much. Notifications empty. No homework. Oh, God. Beloved proper tutor. TCG could have been seen. Of course, I don't blame you. MGBT. What am I missing? What am I missing?
Notifications empty, no homework. Carl gone, beloved proper chew could have TCG could have been seen. Of course, I don't blame you. That's Mr. Jenny.
Oh, there we go. There we go. Well, I'm sorry there was a mess up on the old YouTube end, Distant Night, but thank you for resending. Very much appreciated. And I'm glad I have you to help me with a reference. As you can tell, we're getting up to speed again. Much appreciated. If you want to be like Distant Night or Lawrence, you can have follow in their wonderful footsteps and support the channel via super chats either here or memberships here or on Subscribestar. And I love a membership because then I can give something back to you. Members are already voting on what we are covering in March. They will be voting on in February, and they're voting on the March arc soon. There's some interesting ones, including, I don't want to bias it, but they have there is the look at how the southern US states are depicted in horror, which I think is a particularly meaty issue. So that'll be a good one. And I've just seen something come in that's a bit of a gosh.
Yeah, my jaw did drop when I saw that.
A super chat that I am extremely grateful for and will possibly have a bit of a problem reading aloud. But I mean, it's would you like
me to read it, given that I do have the H card?
Oh yeah, you're covered for it, aren't you?
Yeah, so you can treat yourself to that book. Me Mum Died in the Cannibal Holly, or whatever it was called. We'll enjoy it on the rewatch.
Brilliant. Oh my goodness, yes. Your comment did make me laugh. I probably shouldn't comment on the songs related to that topic.
yeah, maybe not.
No. It's when I caught my daughter dancing to them that I thought, oh, maybe I better.
Yeah.
I better tone it down. Let's go back to Rudolph. Open Wounds, thank you ever so much for that. That is an astonishingly generous super chat. You're a bit of a legend. And also, kudos for remembering that someone got in touch with me referencing a book. Was it? It wouldn't be you, would it? I'm afraid your memory is better than mine. But yes, so I wrote about Cannibal Holocaust and I got referred to an academic book, which I was very tempted by. But it was going for 70 quid, as often happens. And I thought, oh, I don't know if I can. However, well, you've just helped me out there, Open Wound. So I think, quite frankly, we're going to have to do it. It's going to have to happen, isn't it? We're going to have to do the deep dive on Cannibal Holocaust.
I think we're going to have to, won't we? Oh, great. Well, I mean, for that amount, absolutely.
You know, what can I say? You know, you put enough money on the table. Who knows what YouTubers will do?
Yep, food on the table, a roof over your head.
Bless.
And some feed for your chickens.
Indeed.
Speaking of that, yeah, it tastes like chicken because it is. Yeah, I did laugh at that line.
Oh, God, that Mike. You know, that's one of the weird things in this movie is I think the editing, we're meant to have almost all the flashback sections right at the start. So we would have known that he ate his mum before they said that line.
Yeah.
But I've seen awfully scattered reports on how this movie came together.
Oh, right. Okay.
Which we should get to. But Open Wounds, thank you again. I will contact Simon Roberts, give him a prod, because I've been saying that this is a movie he needs to look at. Now, there is zero excuse for it. Thank you ever so much. That is very generous. All super chats, very much appreciated. What an absolutely fabulous start to the new year. So, TCG, tonight we're covering... Oh, sorry, wait. Before we go further, I have, of course, linked your channel in the description. Anything you'd like people to know about?
So, yeah, Friday night community quizzes should be coming back next week. I was going to do one this week, but unfortunately, I've had very, very little time And I am still I'm hoping to get the guests finalized for next week, for the idea that I have that I'm not going to reveal now, but let's just say it's a killer idea. And so tomorrow, speaking of, honoring requests, Dissident Night, you'll be happy. We will go live tomorrow night around, I don't know, about 10ish, I say, UK time. I'm going to do some Armored Core 6 Fires of Rubicon. So we're going to give that a go, and we'll talk about what my plans are for 2026 and sort of where the channel will be going, while I try my hardest to not screw up this gameplay and look like a I'm going to try my best not to play like a games journalist, let's just say.
Is that a mech game?
It's a Bandai Namco game, so I do like Namco. Feed the fire, let the last cinders burn. I'm just reading the back of the box now. So you're an independent mercenary. The player is about to find themselves in a struggle over the mysterious substance coral with powerful corporations and other factions. It just looks like a giant robot game, like the Pacific Rim, basically.
Nice sort of mech warrior style game.
I like it. Yeah.
Should be a blast.
Yeah. Can we talk about the idea that I floated as well?
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because I have been saying for a while that I wanted to do a review of the Monster, the Ed Gein story. And I did start writing a script for it. However, I am absolutely terrible when it comes to script. Well, I've never done a video like that, so it's just coming along very slowly. So I floated the idea with Horror Show, and she has agreed that at some point, date is not defined, but Double Feature Horror Show will be going on the road. So when we have dates confirmed, we'll share them. But we will be doing a Double Feature Horror Show over on my channel, where we will be covering Monster, the Ed Gein story.
I love the sound of it, to be honest. I think it's awesome. You didn't have to fight very hard to persuade me.
No, to be fair, no.
I mean, I remembered it was Ryan Murphy, and I thought, oh no, but
yeah, no.
For you, TCG, for you.
Oh, thank you.
I've just seen apparently I was mentioned on Millennial this year, which I'm waiting for details on that, but that's quite interesting.
Oh, I did post a video the other day, actually. So I don't know if you guys have been seeing. Speaking of that, because he was on a stream with Not So Obvious and Academic Agent the other day. Yeah, and so just reminded me. So Academic Agent. Now, I don't have the hate boner that some people do have for him. But I'm not big on the politics stuff, but I do like the stuff that he does on his second channel, because it's just so out there. And he started doing pork scratchings reviews. And honestly, it's just great. It's fantastic. So I did a little edit of him eating Mr. Porky's pork scratchings for about 15 minutes over on my live. I call it TCG Live, or That Crime Guy Live, but it's basically just a shitpost channel now. And yeah, I thought, you know, like how you get some of those ideas in your head. It's like, if you get that song in your head and you can't get it out of your head. I had to upload it, because otherwise that idea would have stuck in my head and really distracted me from my actual work. God knows how long.
Lying awake at night, hearing
Honestly,
scratching his pork.
Yeah. But it's just the random. It's just the randoms. We'll try one more.
Hello, Dylan Roth joining up again. Thank you very much. Welcome back. It's good to see you. Yes, I know you remember before. It's okay. I know they drop off, but very, very nice to have you back. Much appreciated. Members get rewards. I've got to think of a new reward for you. I will say I've got a few sort of irons in the fire for special member content, but I am waiting on other people for those. So we'll get those kicked off. Listen, we should nearly 15 minutes in. We should probably start talking about the subject. This isn't an AA stream.
But this isn't a Goosebumps stream either, is it?
No, indeed. So Black Christmas 2006. We are, of course, back in our our cozy remakes era and let us. Oh gosh, where is it? Where's the thing? I've got a mundane matting again. I've got too many tabs open. Remembering that we've got a little scheme here. Oh, but it's not working. TCG, this is a disaster. There we go. We've got a scheme. Look.
Hey. Oh yes.
Hey. We're doing this thing. I'm going to make this the whole thing. Because I have a theory, folks. You know, I'm charting these horror remakes by their fidelity to the source material and their inherent quality. This is a series I absolutely love doing. We're also trying to build up a sort of taxonomy of the 2000s era horrors, because it's not just about horror remakes. These, I think, have got something special going on. The 2000s era horror remakes, aka the Platinum June wave, there's something about them. You know, how does a sort of 80s horror look when it's been run through the filter of the early 2000s? For instance, new metal all over the place in them. That sort of thing I find very interesting. And this one is one I've been wanting to get to for quite a while, let me tell you. TCG, how are you on the Black Christmas series? Are you a big fan of the original? Are you lukewarm on them?
I haven't seen the original. Or at the very least, I can't remember anything about the original if I have seen it. So, yeah, coming into the remake, or the first remake, was the first time I've actually seen this. I do know that you reviewed this you reviewed the 2019 version about 5 years ago, and that was when I told my wife I was going to be covering this video. She was like, "Oh yeah, no, I've seen that remake. It's absolute awful. It's like completely woke. It's like politically correct nonsense." And I was like, "Well, no, I think that's the 2019 version." And she was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." She was like, "Well, I'm not holding. Don't hold your breath then."
Yeah, it's something we noted in this, isn't it? It's so it's totally pre-woke, isn't it? Like,
100, yeah.
All of these have been living in this sort of totally colorblind era. Like, you usually think of that as obviously channel, you're wise, you're cultured. You know, there's an asterisk around that. We don't need to go into those details. Like, broadly, it's a colorblind time, you know. These movies just don't go into it. It's something I think of as the 90s, but it clearly extends well into the 2000s, that aspect of them. Lawrence has sort of got ahead of me here, but I also need to thank Distant Night. Thank you again, sending in a second super chat saying I've been replaying it in anticipation of my Crown Card. Oh, it's with reference to Armored Core 4. There you go. Ooh, Armored Core 60. He's willing. I feel that should be your super chat, really, TCG.
Should be, yeah. Why is it here? What's it doing here? Why are you paying? Why are you paying Horror Show for my super chats? No, I'm joking.
Oh, no, it's very keen, very keen. Well, Lawrence Henry has sort of set me up here. Would I recommend any good commentaries on the original Black Christmas? I would indeed. I would indeed. In fact, why on earth have I not pre-linked this? Folks, if you don't know, it's now a couple of years ago, I think, or a year ago, a couple of years. I did a project on the history of Blockbuster called Rental Breakdown. And as part of that, I did a whole bunch of movie commentaries, one of which was on Black Christmas 1974, the original. So if you want to know extended thoughts on that, watch that commentary. It's one of the ones I'm really, really happy about. And so I feel quite protective of that. And I knew I had looked at the 2019 in detail, but the 2006 one, it was a bit of a black hole for me. I'd seen it, but I had seen it so long ago. And how can I put this? I went into that viewing in a state of advanced refreshment. And so I had only the vaguest memories of what happened in it. So it's something that very much needed a remake. A rewatch. I didn't have the I didn't come away with a feeling like, oh, that was a beauty. I came away with a slightly less than good impression, and even a certain amount of a did that have Buffalo Bill in it for no reason whatsoever? Surely not. However, so I think it's fair to say that it's an extremely different vibe to the original.
Yeah, I'll take your word on that one.
Yeah. Wait, if you for anyone who hasn't seen it, I mean, just TCG, you've seen Halloween, you know.
Yeah.
It's not in a rush. I mean, that one precedes Halloween, but it's because it kicked off before the genre conventions really got stuck in.
Yeah.
As a slasher, it's extremely unconventional. It's not very rushed. It's not very gory. It's got things that you wouldn't expect from a slasher, and in a way, it's kind of more slasher adjacent,
Right.
because it's doing its own thing, and a genre would form kind of around it. But Halloween did become the slasher model. But people talk about the original as a slasher, but I think it's got something a bit more interesting going on. This one has recast itself in, I think, very much the mold of the movies of the time, to the point that I think it's fair to say it. I'm not going to rate it high on the fidelity. I mean, I think it's. I can't really ask you to comment on that, but
yeah, no, unfortunately not.
Mm.
I just want to talk because very quickly, because they've mentioned it a couple of times now in the chat about this whole yellow skin thing. It was so funny when they're sort of given the exposition about Billy. You know, he was born with a rare condition that made his skin yellow. I just went, jaundice. He had jaundice. My kid was born with yellow skin. After a few days under a UV lamp, he was fine, sorted. Why didn't? It's like, okay,
TCG confirmed for Rice King.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I didn't realize that jaundice was a rare skin condition. It was rare liver condition. I beg your pardon, which made me go jaundice. Like they don't stay like a Simpson forever, man. Like just a couple of days, it's fine. Like weird.
I found that really. Oh, hello, Murgoot. Glad to see you back from the thing. Good. Yeah. So I found that a really weird touch in this. The yellow skin, or well, we're lucky when it's yellow, because in some shots he looks like the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, when he takes out Doctor Who, it's like, you know,
he takes out Doctor Who.
Oh, come on, he did look like him.
Oh, he looks like everyone nowadays, though, doesn't he, Doctor
Who? No comment. Yeah, in that lighting, he looked positively green. We were just saying, like, what? Why does he look like the Hulk? And they explained it later. But yeah, they don't say jaundice forever. Well, TCG.
They don't say jaundice at all. They just say a rare liver condition. I was like, jaundice?
Yeah. I don't know why he would be permanently yellow. Like, this isn't Sin City. Yeah. What's going on, big guy?
I know.
Would you be surprised to know that Billy doesn't have jaundice in the original?
I would not be surprised.
Would you be surprised to know that basically everything you see about him is totally different in this film?
I would not be surprised. I did, admittedly, I caught a glimpse of a synopsis when I found the film, and it did say that it was like a retelling, or like they delved more into Billy's backstory as opposed to the original. That's all I really know. They kind of did Rob Zombie Halloween.
I am so glad you mentioned that. Nailed it.
and you know what? I didn't care about Halloween's I didn't care about Michael Myers' backstory. I didn't care about Billy's. I just wanted to get on with it.
Well, it's a great reference point because, one of the things we said is that there is a taxonomy to this. Now, I have my file in which I have that, and I can't access it. You know what? I'm not going to bother, guys. It will be an absolute pain in the bum if I try to. But one of the things we picked out as a characteristic of these remakes is that they always want to tell you a lot more about the killer. Where think about your Friday the 13th. Like the backstory is extremely minimal. You start off with a precursor scene. You get a little bit of talking from the killer when you meet. Why am I trying to keep it secret? You get a little talk from Mrs. Voorhees when you meet her, but that's it. It is very characteristic of these films to go deep into the detail to try and add psychological depth to the villain, and almost always to try and categorize why they're like that as a result of trauma. That's probably fair, isn't it?
Yeah.
With Rob Zombie's Halloween is probably the archetypical example of that.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Oh, hello. Killer splaining. Yes, Murgoot. Killer splaining.
Killer splaining. I like that.
Lots of delving into the... Yes, Dr. Prepper. Absolutely. Oh, my goodness. Daniel, I'm very sorry. I missed your super chat. Thank you ever so much. Oh, dear. I feel awful. Daniel, thank you. Happy New Year. This super chat is coming from inside the house.
I love that.
Much appreciated. A very happy New Year to you as well. Much appreciated on the super chat front. You folks being wonderful tonight. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so we got a deep dive into the killer backstory. Since Daniel brought it up, we should probably mention it. There's something very notable missing from this movie. Now, you haven't seen the original TTG, so forgive me for recapping, but...
No, that's fine.
So they get the disturbing phone calls, and I'll try and find my... I don't think I've got an image of the phone, actually, but I've got them all standing round. So there we go. They did a kind of interesting pan-around shot of them getting the phone call. Now, these are... it's a major feature of the original, right? That's the big thing.
Okay.
They're getting these actually genuinely disturbing phone calls. You can't tell what he's really saying a lot. He might be jacking it. He might just be screaming. It's really horrible. And it genuinely unsettling. It's mental illness.wav being blasted out at you, and it's one of the best things about the movie.
Yeah.
And as has been, you're not going to be surprised to hear that they eventually trace the phone calls, and where are they coming from?
Inside the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
You get a really big sequence with the painstaking process that the police have to do to trace a call, which is quite interesting.
This is the 1974 version, I'm assuming.
Yeah, the 74. Yeah. They literally show you a guy plugging wires in to connect things and trace it.
Brilliant.
It's quite interesting. And they said for this that it just didn't work. That kind of central conceit does not work because of caller ID. And it had also been kind of done too much. So they junked it, and that's partly why they wanted to add in the Billy story to do something a bit new. I guess it's also, as was the style at the time, to give the killer tons of backstory, but also to fill up the space that where are the phone calls coming from plotline left out.
Wait. Wholesome Chicken and Wrangler. The phone calls are reminiscent of the Donald Duck Mickey Mouse killer.
Not even joking. Not even joking. I would play one, but we'd get copyright struck.
Wait a minute. You can't throw that at me.
No, seriously.
Hang on. Is this an actual thing, or is this?
Yeah, so the killings themselves were partly inspired by, was it Edward Kemper?
Okay.
Was one of the bits of source material, but the phone calls were more this Mickey Mouse killer guy,
Oh.
and they're one of the best bits in the movie. They're so genuinely disturbing. It's one of the big switcheroos. Also, while we're doing the tropes of the 2000s remakes, we should quickly note that we have got the cameo of the cast member from the original.
Hold on, this isn't the weepy voice killer, is it?
Maybe.
Because I did. If it is, because he yeah. I stabbed him with an ice pick, and I don't know why I did that. I'm so sorry. Is that like that guy?
It might be the inspiration. Well, I mean, we'll wait for Waifu to comment on that. She
because if it was, I have the video on my channel.
Oh, what on that crime guy? A video on the weepy voice killer?
Yeah.
My goodness, boy, people could just go and watch that.
I know. Not enough people have, to be fair.
Dylan Roth commenting, yes, fair enough. Andrea Martin here, an actual role rather than a cameo. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Although I wouldn't say she gets all that much to do. She was Phyllis in the original. There are a few other things we can talk about. One thing I really liked has been raised already by Laku. Laku with a very fun avatar has asked, what's with the gouged eyes? Well, there is a very interesting thing with that I actually like. We'll get to it. One of the few things I liked about this movie came in. Folks, you might be you don't think me a sourpuss, but I hated this movie. I'm just putting it out there. I hated this movie. TCG, I hated this movie.
Yeah, it wasn't great, was it?
We should maybe talk a little bit about why. I mean, if people are wondering how's it gone wrong, it's by Glenn Morgan with a bit of John Wong. No, I've got them mixed up. Yeah, Glenn Morgan and James Wong. There we go. Now there, I would say kind of a reliable pair of hands when it comes to horror. We like their stuff. You know, we like our Final Destination a heck of a lot. Their work on the X-Files stands out very well. So Morgan and Wong, usually pretty darn safe. But this time, oh Lord, this didn't work out. Some of those faults, I think, are very much easy to pin on them. But one of the other factors is the involvement of Dimension Films. For all that, I call this the Platinum Dunes wave, the era of 2000s horror remakes. We haven't actually covered many Platinum Dunes films. This one is Dimension, which is a subsidiary of Miramax. You will know them for releasing the Miramax horror content like Scream. And Dimension Films, as with Miramax, were run by Bob and Harvey Weinstein. You may have heard of them, TCG.
Never heard of them. Never heard of them. If there are bad people get blanked out of my. No, of course I've heard of them.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
Hasn't Weinstein? Hasn't he successfully appealed some of those convictions? Or
I heard something like that.
Something about that. Yeah.
But now, weirdly, in this, you might be surprised. It's more of a Bob's fingers in this pie. More of Bob Weinstein. He's a bit more of the horror guy of the two of them. In fact, he even wrote a fairly well-known horror movie, The Burning, as we enjoy mentioning. We enjoy mentioning that fact a lot more than we like actually watching The Burning, but there we go. Yeah, so Glenn Morgan is writing his remake. He's working pretty closely with Bob Clark, the original director. They even do a cute thing where they name the sanitarium Clark Sanitarium after Bob Clark. Clark himself would have a very unfortunate car accident and die alongside with his son.
Oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, a short time after this movie, unfortunately. It's a bit tragic. If you the Blu-ray I've got of Black Christmas is a big collector's edition. There's a few
Yeah.
panels with the cast, and they talk very warmly about him. But yeah,
Okay.
the guy got screwed over. Very talented filmmaker, did many genres, but Black Christmas was a very original contribution. So he was collaborating on this. He was okay with it. He thought it was fine to do some of the Billy backstory, which I not really wrong about it, but it definitely contrasts with the original, where Billy is a total enigma. And if you
Yeah.
watch my weird reading of the film, Billy isn't even there. That's
Okay.
a whole other thing. They're doing that, but the Weinsteins, they don't like to. They've got a bit of a reputation for meddling and for other things.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the discussion in this film is about the Weinstein saying, no, you've got to put this in, you've got to put this in, change the order, switch it up, and very infamously, do massive reshoots on the ending, and particularly infamously, going and shooting lots of footage for the trailer that are nowhere to be seen in the movie. Like,
Oh, don't you
just
just
not
love
there.
that?
Yeah,
Don't you just
characters
love
that don't exist in this film, sequences that don't exist. Michelle Trachtenberg, the sadly passed Michelle Trachtenberg, with a shotgun saying "Merry Christmas, Mother Flipper."
Yeah.
That
was
not in the movie, never intended in the movie, merely to sort of reel you in. Absolute scam.
Yeah, I can't believe it's been nearly a year since she passed away.
Very tragic, very tragic. She was
Yeah.
only in her mid-30s.
Something like that. Yeah, she was. Yeah, she wasn't old by any at all. So it was actually really quite cool to see her in this film. Like, I was like, oh my god, of course.
Yeah. How did you think she did in this?
Yeah, she did all right. Did as well as anyone could do with the tools that they were given. Like I say, I mean, I don't disagree with with people saying it was a fun film. Like it just wasn't a great. Obviously it wasn't a great horror sort of slasher, but yeah, definitely fun. Definitely had its little moments. But yeah, no, Trachtenberg, yeah, no, it's cool. Like, she'll always be known for Buffy. It's difficult to not see her in that role, But yeah, no, I thought she was all right. There was quite a few of them, though, weren't there? Because you had the one woman from the Final Destination film. She was like one of the lead actresses. I love that you called this Mean Girls, because one of the actresses was in Mean Girls.
Yeah.
And of course, you had Katie Cassidy as well, who played Ruby in season 3 of Supernatural. So that was quite cool. Yeah, no, I felt like, it was a decent little cast here. I just felt like they could have done I just felt like they could have done a little bit more, but yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. My own personal favorite, Mary Elizabeth Winstead. I love her rocking up, Yeah, always enjoy that.
Yeah, it's always good when you see a familiar face.
Great little cast, but I think they'll have had more of a chance to shine, but this is one where, Weinstein meddling messed up a lot of plans. We know a lot of stuff got shuffled around. We know the ending got totally redone. The various death sequences. Actually, on Trachtenberg, there is something that's quite nice. Is I think she's having a good go in the film, but she's also getting to differentiate herself from the role that people knew her for,
Exactly.
Dawn. So she's more of like the big sister to the woman just behind her, who gets absolutely, absolutely wankered and throws up. It's quite nice. She takes on the big sister role. That's lovely.
Yeah.
Also, the way she dies with the ice skates thrown at her head, I thought was also a cute reference to the film she had made previously, Ice Princess.
Oh, okay.
Cute one. It had been made the year before, so coincidence, maybe, but I liked it.
One thing I wanted to mention as well is the woman who's in Mean Girls. Bloody hell, what's her name?
Lacey Shaber.
Lacey Shaber. I sent you a link earlier. How many bloody Christmas films is she in?
She's got a
mean,
thing for it.
This is one Christmas film of like could put like close to 20, 25 films, probably even more. And then the odd like Valentine's Day films sprinkled in there as well.
She's found her genre, man.
Yeah, man. Like, fair enough. Go for it. Like wholesome.
Unexpected career direction, eh?
I mean, those Hallmark films must pay a pretty penny.
I'd be interested to know, to be honest. You don't think of them as being like blockbuster budgets, but maybe one of those things that are clearly profitable enough that you can do them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Where was a comment? Oh, so this is a good question. Okay, so Dylan asking, what would have been preferable had Weinstein not interfered? I might have a bit of a hard time articulating this, so bear with me. But a lot of the changes he put in were pushing up the gore factor and moving the editing around. I don't have a problem with the gore. I love a bit of gore, but some of the stuff that he has to go in, it sort of, there's a sexual connotation to it that is quite uncomfortable, and a kind of, I don't know, man, it just kind of feels mean. Like Michelle Trachtenberg's other death sequence is her having her eyes gouged out, and she's basically dragged along the hallway with, well, basically fingers in her eye sockets. And she's got quite bruised doing that. And it's sort of a level of spite that just, I don't know, it's a little bit unseemly, you know? I love the gore. Sadism is just it's a bit of a different cell, and it's really hard to sort of cement, you know, exactly how sadistic something is. But, you know, like pornography, you know it when you see it. Do you think that's a fair take?
I think that's fair. I mean, I think that's fair. Like I didn't have a problem with the gore as well. I think it kind of went not too far is the wrong way of putting it, but it went further than like what conventional sort of slasher horror films tend to do. But for me, the most disturbing bit was when Billy's mother was bonking that geezer on the stairs, and he falls asleep, and then she just goes up into the attic and just sort of stands in front of him, and like, all you see is like the lower legs, and then the dress comes down, and it's just like and then the next bit just says 9 months later, and there's a baby, and I'm like, oh man, no, that's just grim. Like everything else on top of that is just it's like, oh god. Right. Yeah. Okay. We're going down that road.
It was just a bit sort of. It's really going into messed up territory. I mean,
yeah.
We talked earlier about the sort of psychologization of killers, that there had to be a deep trauma. Well, something really, really, really messed up had to happen to Billy in order for him to be such a weirdo creepo. But it's like, that already is a logic I'm not necessarily down with. You know, it's kind of a progressive worldview that, you know, it can happen, but is it in every case? Not sure.
Yeah.
And this thing is just, it was really, really weird to see. And you always wonder about what was going on with Billy, but I'm not sure that having this as the answer, that his mum goes up and
it's just
why is that the thing?
Yeah, look, I'm not gonna sit here and say like it's not absolutely unnecessary if this is something that's a catalyst to Billy becoming the person that he would eventually become. But there's plenty of other things in that in the film sort of preceding that would certainly contribute alone, like, you know, witnessing your father being murdered, spending
being
years
trapped
being
alone in the
locked in
house
an
would
attic.
do it.
Yeah, and then it's just sort of like it just felt like a bit of an icing on the cake kind of thing. And then yeah, I don't. It's just yeah, it's distasteful, but
That's a good way of saying it. Yeah, feels sleazy and yucky.
yeah,
In a
kind of like a
for
wine
me
stick.
in a, yeah, for me in a less fun way. Also, it meant that some of the world building was quite weird, because you've got to get the idea that, well, Billy sees his mum and her lover murdering their father, and therefore he tries to get away, but they lock him in the house, and so he lives in the attic. But I mean, how does that even work? How does he not really, like, he doesn't just escape? That wouldn't be the easiest thing for him to do.
Hmm.
None of the world building of that made any sense. There's no way they would be effectively shutting him up in the house. So not a fan. And then this idea of Agnes is a complete reinvention of what was in the original.
Right.
Agnes is mentioned in one of the creepy calls, or a few of the creepy calls, I think. But again, Billy's totally enigmatic.
Right.
It's
So
like he's brought this private psychosis with him and just inflicts it on the women in the house. But
right.
you
So,
just don't
so,
get details.
so with regards to Agnes in the 19, just so I understand, in the 1974 film, is it the same sort of situation here where, or do we just not know because it's not really brought up in the original film?
It's not brought up at all, but there's no Agnes ever seen or shown to be involved with the house. It really is
Right.
just Billy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. This idea of Agnes as a sister in there, as a sister daughter in there as well.
Yeah.
It's entirely an invention of this film. And the decision to have Agnes played by a dude, I think, is another
Yeah, that was a
extreme.
weird one. I mean, it just I don't know whether that was meant to be some kind of twist or not, but I did kind of suss out pretty early on that, hang on a minute, this is clearly supposed to be the sister.
Yeah, it's maybe chat can chime in here, but I think for a lot of people, myself included, on the first watch, it just has me confused. Like, is this a sort of Norman Bates situation? Does Billy like pop a wig on to do the killing? And I thought that was maybe that. But then you're meant to have the surprise, oh, it is two of them. And like, maybe they cast a chap so that you would have that doubt. But when that isn't the way they go, then it's just confusing. So, like, I'm just interested if chat or you had that experience as like, well, you were just wondering what is going on here. Have you been watching for that? While we wait for takes, I don't know if there's something going on with TCG. We'll say, obviously, this kind of cross-sex casting is not exactly unique in horror. It has been used very well a few times, but usually more for a subtle, uncanny effect. So the idea is you're really not meant to be noticing it as much, but it's meant to come in to add to the uncanny factor and creep you out a bit. So some of the best known examples of that are going to be in the original Pet Sematary with the Rachel's sister Zelda. Yes, that is her name. Seen in a nightmare sequence, you've got a sort of nightmarish vision of her. And in that one, the sister is played by a male stunt actor who was incredibly thin. So you could get a very sort of uncanny resemblance. And in Smile from 2022, when the sort of monstrous Smile entity is taking on the form of our heroine's mother at the end, one of the when it becomes more monstrous, they swap out the actor for a male, and it just again adds to the effect. But for Agnes, I don't know, man. confused me. Totally confused me.
Sorry about that. Everything just went quiet for a little moment. It's like, oh no, what's going on?
That's all right. I was muted on your quiz for like 50 minutes.
Oh my god, yes.
I can forgive you, man. I'm not calling you out.
Oh bless. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
sorry. What were you asking before?
Oh, good reference from Lawrence Hendry about cross-sex casting in horror, with Satan being played by a woman in Passion of the Christ. Very good call.
Oh,
Very
I didn't
good.
know that.
Okay, so we're getting pushback. I was saying that casting a chap to play Agnes
Yeah.
is very confusing. Not without precedence in horror, but I think it was maybe meant to be a gambit that maybe Billy is dressing up as his sister.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
But then the twist is there are two of them.
Yeah.
And I know Laku is saying it's obvious from the start there are two killers. I'm not sure.
I
Possibly I'm biased.
No,
he
I'm
could be dressing up, but I just
to be fair, I'm with Lakutaku. I pretty much, again, I don't know whether it was meant to be some sort of twist or not, but I felt like it was quite obvious that it was definitely a second, that it was well, I say brother and sister slash father daughter scenario. It didn't come across to me like they were trying to hide it, but yeah, when like you've got more of a view of Agnes, it was kind of like, well, why does she look like that? Why does she have broad shoulders and a strapping jawline? Like, what's going on?
It's confusing. It's a choice. It's a choice.
Yeah, it just felt like, because the timeline didn't, the events of the movie didn't really align with it potentially being like, I don't know, like Norman Bates-esque sort of, oh, I'm Billy on this day. Oh no, actually, now I'm going to be Agnes at this moment in time. It always felt to me like it was obvious that there was both of them. So, but I can understand how it could come across that there was some kind of twist, even though, and I admittedly, I kind of felt like I was either very aware as to what this twist was, or it was just obvious from the outset. But yeah.
Very possibly I was biased from my knowledge of the original, and it would be an effective twist for people like me. But man, just the cross-sex casting is what threw me off about that. If they had a woman playing Agnes, I wouldn't have thought it. But anyway, Laku is indeed totally right that Billy was in hospital when the first murder happened.
Correct.
Again, maybe that's a Weinstein effect, because we're meant to see. Oh no, we'd seen the flashbacks first. I think we were meant to see him escape first, but conflicting reports, and it's a bit uncertain.
Right.
However, I think the other problem that I had with this film is that it felt very disjointed to me.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
we're
I felt
going
that.
back and forth.
Yeah.
It was. It's just one of those weird experiences where waifu and I were saying to ourselves, like, what's going on here? Like, it's not lacking events, but it felt like it didn't have a flow.
I agree. I totally agree, because we sort of mentioned, sort of touched upon it before, but in the Halloween films that Rob Zombie did, which are absolute dog toilet, by the way, the film at least sort of focuses somewhat chronologically. It does. It does. I think it does the sort of the background of Michael a lot better than, say, this film, where it's just backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards, and you sort of it is kind of it's kind of a bit not jarring, but I'd probably say, it's a bit confusing as to sort of what where you're supposed to be at any given moment in time. Like you mentioned, the killing in the opening scene. Okay, is that current day, or are we sort of working our way back up to that. You know, like how a movie might start with like, you know, sort of like almost like a spoiler, and then start with 2 days ago, and following that, it was kind of like that. You know, where are we in the story at the time that this happens, and then yeah, and this whole like sort of toing and froing from the timeline for me was just a bit, yeah, it could have been handled better.
Yeah. Adding to that, I think, is also that there was a deliberate decision by the production, which I think is not necessarily a bad one, to try and confuse people over who the final girl would be. So
Yeah.
they've got several actresses of a similar caliber who basically you might all think could be the one.
Yeah.
They aren't really no one is really characterized in the way that you would typically think of as the final girl. Like, no one really has the particular traits that lead you to think that. They're getting similar screen time.
Yeah.
So you're a bit, and no, I just, one result of that is, okay, you're a bit surprised. Maybe you think any of them could die. But the other one is that it didn't have a strong narrative pull.
Correct.
Because if you have a protagonist, it helps you focus on someone. You know whose journey you're going through. In this one, it kind of felt that they were just in the house and stuff was happening.
Yeah.
And it leads to weird things like they get the first disturbing phone call and someone suggests calling the police and they're like, nah, it'll be fine.
I can understand the first one. I can understand the first call
Of
because
course.
you can just write it off as a prank call. But then like they can't find their friends, and then they're getting more calls, and there doesn't seem to be any urgency.
Yeah, you can't find your friends, and you've had weird calls from their mobiles.
Yeah.
I don't know. After the second, you're pretty good for it, and then there's a third, and they yeah, it's a tricky one. Sorry, I got caught up in chat there. Yeah, it's like why don't they call the police?
I thought that. Yeah, I was thinking that they could have called them. I mean, it's good that they did eventually, but it did feel like it was a bit too it just felt like it was a bit too late. They could have absolutely they could have absolutely made that call sooner.
Yeah, they get to it very late as well. I mean, forgive me going off on one, but that is one of the most jarring differences between this and the original.
Right.
In the original, like it's not all in one night. There's a sort of very clear protagonist in Olivia Hussey who's got a storyline that she has a conflict with her boyfriend, played by Keir Dullea, and basically he's got her up the duff. He wants to be, do right by her and marry her, and she doesn't like him that much and actually wants to keep going with her career and not be a wife, so she wants to have an abortion. It's pretty heavy stuff. They're having that as a main conflict. His objection to that basically makes him a suspect.
Right.
And they're thinking they think he's Billy. But the police are involved like throughout the film. There's this battle over to get them to focus on it, to get them to act. They're called in multiple times. It's really interesting how integrated they are, because they're also distracted by a tragedy near to the house where like a 14-year-old has been savaged and murdered.
Right.
So like the police are an extremely heavy presence. And in this, they're just totally removed.
Yeah, it's really weird. And then, but again, like, yeah, and the fact that they're like stuck in a snowstorm, so it's not like anybody's going anywhere. They notice as well that like, is it Claire's car is missing? No, not missing. It's there. It's there. It hasn't moved. Yeah, the fact that they just don't do anything until, I don't know, is it when when they actually find a body that they're like, oh, actually, maybe we should call the cops.
Yeah, and at that point, they can't get there for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know.
Fair play, but then they have to come up with a fairly contrived reason to stay. But okay, maybe all stay, all armed, all together. But they have to do the classic "now we'll split up" thing. Oh,
Yeah.
darn it.
And it works as expected, as you would imagine it to work. Not very well.
No. Oh, one of the other people who turns up, who we should absolutely address at this point. This would be one of the. Well, I don't know if I should call it a fault. Let me get your take on it. How did you feel about Claire's sister?
How did I feel about Claire's sister? Lee, you're referring to Lee. I felt she was very suspicious to begin with. I actually thought that she might have been Agnes, and that I was reading the movie wrong until I found out I wasn't. But did she need to be there?
Not necessarily. I mean, it's because it's a remake, it wants to stick reasonably close, but then it's also added in Agnes, so fidelity is in the eye of the beholder, I guess. But she is replacing a character from the original.
Okay.
Basically similar thing. So the first girl to be murdered in the same way, and stored up in the attic. Her father comes to collect her. And
Right.
yeah, it's one of the best things in there. He's just so out of place in this, teen horror movie. He's there worrying about his daughter and trying to get help and trying to get the police to take it seriously. And
Gotcha.
wandering around, sort of seeing where his daughter was living and the environment and thinking, oh God, where did I send her?
Yeah.
What kind of environment have I put her in? This is awful. And he's going through this really actually heartbreaking conflict right on the screen. It makes a movie so much more mature. It's wonderful. Now they've sacked him off and they've brought in the director's wife.
Oh, is that who it is?
Yeah, this is Kimberly Cloak?
Right.
Kristen Cloak, who Glenn Morgan tends to cast in his films.
Gotcha.
A bit like Kate Siegel for Mike Flanagan.
So
a bit unfair. Kristen
so
Cloak's had a bit more work before.
So what you're saying? So in a nutshell, a loving and devoted father is replaced by a distant and a distant, not so caring half sister who admittedly doesn't know her half sibling too well.
Chose a hell of a night to come back and make contact again, right?
I know, right? I know. The timing.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, it genuinely feels like there's moments in the film where she like forgets about her sister. Like she'll make a big point, like, we need to find her. We need to find my sister. Rarely does she actively look for her though.
Not going to take you that long to cover the house.
No. Not at all. Like, she's not in her room. The car's still outside. I mean, okay, like, in fairness, she wouldn't have known what car she was driving anyway, so that's fine. But the other friends would have known. The other friends
told her?
Noticed. Yeah. Oh, the car's still outside. She can't be. Her phone's still here. Doesn't look like her belongings are. She's taking her belongings with her. She must be somewhere in the house. She's not responding to our calls for her. Maybe she's outside. Maybe she's somewhere we haven't looked. But they don't look. Not really.
No, it's an odd one. And
yeah,
what thing that it's kind of like the Agnes thing is my confusion was a meta confusion.
Yeah,
because she is presented in I felt like quite a triumphant way. Like she comes in like this big cameo, and I almost thought, am I meant to know her? Why is she presented like she's some kind of homecoming hero? What's going on here?
Yeah,
it just really confused me. Like, she's presented like everyone should know her.
Exactly. Yeah, definitely.
It really, really threw me off. Yeah. But and I think this is maybe a bit of a weakness that this is a director looking to get a role for his wife in.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, there is a sense of like a sort of like redemption's perhaps. Yeah, no, redemption's probably the right word. You know, this is a woman who didn't really connect with the younger sister, and after who wasn't even the one who initiated it, but wants to make the effort, and unfortunately, it's now too late, and so her, I suppose her aims and goals are now to look up to watch out for the other girls there, which again is pretty humiliating. She humiliatingly fails at it, with the exception of Katie Cassidy's character. Yeah, it's not a bad character, but yeah, it didn't necessarily need to be. I don't know, man. I feel like maybe a bit of um, maybe a bit too involved. Like I don't know if one of the other the other girls could have played a more focal role, or you know, if she could have, you know, she could have found her sister then died, you know, as
That would
opposed
have
to
been a bit nice. Yeah.
yeah. I mean,
I would have liked that.
yeah, but they do give her a character arc, which I suppose, you know, is fine. But yeah, I just maybe the inverse. Maybe she was the one who was making the effort, and the younger sister wasn't, and so, you know, worried that she hasn't shown up. She's braved the storm to come and find her, and it's too late. And the inverse could have worked, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Dylan is making the case for Lee, and that's if we've made it sound like she's giving a bad performance, I don't mean to do that. I found the presentation a bit bizarre. I massively preferred the sort of father coming back into it. It's just a bit, I don't know, it just didn't quite work for me. The idea that she's, you know, a bit tsundere, you know, cold on the outside, but she's got a warm heart. She's just protective in a harsh world. I don't mind that. I just
Who was who was the older woman initially? What was her name?
Andrea Martin. She was Phyllis in the original.
Phyllis. Yeah. So yeah, because obviously, sorry, no, I say obviously. Dylan mentions that she wouldn't, if she'd found a sister, then died, she wouldn't have had the surrogate relationship with Kelly. I don't see why Phyllis couldn't have been that sort of surrogate parent in that scenario anyway, because she was already, you know, she was already, I guess, responsible, or felt responsibility in, you know, mentoring and, you know, looking after the younger girls. So I don't see why that couldn't have continued. But yeah, you know, obviously they made the decisions they made. We have to watch them and agree or disagree with them.
Indeed. She does get a rather ridiculous action sequence. You know what? Before we get to that ending, I did have a few things. Since I promised this earlier, since Laku asked what's with the eyes, what's with the eye gouging? DCG, what's with the eye gouging?
I don't know, man, but I tell you, it's not a legal move in UFC.
Very first kill.
Yeah.
Like this.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely brutally grim.
Yeah.
Awful.
I don't know if it's in every cut, but the unrated cut has. I'm going to risk showing this on YouTube. If you don't want to see lots of gore, look away now. But there's a second that a lot of them get their sort of heads bagged up, and then the eyes stabbed out.
It's a formulaic.
This is the most memorable one.
Yes. Oh my god!
Just pulled out from it. Oh, that was nasty.
I was making dinner when this was happening. I was like, "Oh my! Oh my!" But it's quite a formulaic approach, isn't it? Like, it's not. There's not a lot of variation. I mean, the only variation that sort of happens is when when the girls put up a bit of a fight. Yeah. Like Michelle Trachtenberg getting the ice skate to the back of the head. That comes after a bit of a struggle. You get the other one with the garden tool. That underneath the house. That you get that that's after a little bit of a struggle. But otherwise, it's bag, knife, or sharp object, and then just rip out the eyeball.
I mean, that might be quite a nice thing in this film's favor. If we're gonna say, we should say something nice about it when it does something well. And the idea that, okay, Billy and Agnes will improvise when they have to, as with the ice skates, as with the rake, but there's clearly a compulsive aspect to their behavior. And compulsively, they want to kill in the exact same way over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's why they have this signature move of, I might take this off screen because it's a bit gross. Just a bit.
It's like a guy playing Street Fighter, but just spams the leg sweep move. That's what they are. They're the type of people that would play that game like that.
That's his special combo there. But so okay, it's a motif. It's quite effective. It does actually look quite nasty. The sort of anonymization, it looks painful. Good stuff. Good stuff with the manner of killing. We enjoy that. But is it just that this is his signature move? To get a bit big brain, we've talked about this before. We talked about it in the Uncanny stream. We've had many opportunities to. But in horror, there's usually a sexual aspect to the eye. The voyeuristic aspect. To be able to see is the first step to a sort of sexual conquest. So the eye, as Freud would argue, is a very sexual organ. Now, in Billy's case, we're helped along by this because the source of his trauma is witnessing. He witnesses his father's murder. He's sort of perpetually in this mode of seeing and looking and being the voyeur. So he goes on to replicate this, most notably for me, in a very silly scene in the bathroom where, look, she has to stand in a very specific place for him to be able to get the up the chimney shot. Otherwise he's out of luck, isn't he, TCG?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much. Psycho vibes big time watching this.
Very much so. Psycho, very good reference point for this. So yeah, it's kind of handy. Billy maybe not have seen all that much. We as the audience got to see a fair amount. But the film helps you out a little bit more with this in something I genuinely liked.
Okay.
The film is very aware of this and puts in a sly joke. Billy in the attic with his telescope.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh-wee. What placement.
What was that film that Christopher Reeve was in, that remake? Was it
Rear Window?
Rear Window, that's it. I thought my mind instantly went to that film.
Did you? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, lovely stuff. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of both of them. I think they're a challenge for modern audiences. Every time I've seen it with modern audiences, they sort of cracked up in the finale. Unfortunately. Alas. Yeah. So this was raised the bar a bit, that they're extremely aware of the sort of voyeuristic sexual aspect, which is why Billy's sort of mode of sexual conquest is via the eye. And, if he's traumatized, he wants to take the eyes out.
Yeah.
But they take that to quite a far conclusion, with basically so many of these poor actresses propped around the tree with their eyes gouged out. It's a lot.
Yeah. Why did they say? Yeah, it just felt odd as well that she just sort of like slowed down after all the doing the brutal murders, and just nonchalantly decorating the Christmas tree and getting set up. We literally had two women just screaming and screaming and screaming. I mean, it just felt like, oh no, they're doing the whole. I'm going to explain my evil plan. kind of thing, but without actually going down that route. But just like what, like back's turned. You're not, you know, you're not in a bloodthirsty rage. You're just, I don't know,
We're just going to
decorating.
appreciate the mise en scène.
Yeah, we'll yeah, yeah. We're, you know, it's all good. It's all good. I trust you not to stab me in the back while I'm just, you know, just rearranging things and just make sure everything's perfect for the family reunion.
Yeah, we sort of, I felt in this scene we flipped over into basically high camp mode.
Yeah.
Oh, Distant Night has sent in another super chat. Thank you very much. This is
bless you.
much appreciated. Manhunt players, plastic bag enjoyers. Ooh, Manhunt.
Oh yeah.
My memory is that came out in. I see there's discussion of the censorship, and I think was it Manhunt 2 actually got fully pulled.
Oh, did
And the
it?
first got very BBFC had taken control of video games at that time.
Oh,
Good
wow.
old friends, the BBFC.
Boo, boo, FC.
Yeah, thank you very much. This night, I've never played it. I'm afraid to say, never played it. Dylan, I feel we've lost you on this one, Dylan. Saying this seems psychological. The visuals are quite restrained. I don't know. I mean, we are talking. It could be, you know, it could be personal preference. It could be that the vibe didn't work for me, and therefore I'm reading more into sadism than is there. But I don't know. I felt the eye pulling out was quite a lot. I'd say also the cutting out cookies from the flesh was, which was a Weinstein edit, was it just had a nastiness to it. But again, as the film hadn't sort of emotionally brought me in, very possible that I am being a bit biased. But this, yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't say it felt that restrained. It's certainly not, you know, way over the top. It's not the most grim we've seen. It's not a kind of splattercore focus on, say, like ribs being torn out or extended close-up torture detail. But I do feel that it's not shy of the claret at all.
Yeah,
Dylan, don't worry, it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah. I do feel like maybe the fact that it's so focused on the eyeballs, you kind of get like the impression that it's more violent than more graphic than it actually is, and also the killings are quite quick as well. They're not all necessarily like drawn out. That's the one thing I found about this. You know, it's very bag, knife, done, eyeball, lovely, right, move on. And you only get a couple of struggles. Even in the end at the hospital, you don't. That's not drawn out. It's not a drawn out thing.
No. You are getting a bit of a grand guignol. No, I maybe shouldn't use that term, but this was a reshot one. So not everyone saw this ending, but yeah, Billy impaled on a Christmas tree.
Yeah.
With a few close-ups of his guts, that was a sort of special payoff. Yeah, it's. Yeah,
I liked it. I mean, I liked that bit. I mean, again, it just it's very schlocky.
Oh, definitely schlocky. I mean, Dylan, don't worry. Sometimes this happens. Sometimes you take a read on a movie, and you're out on your own. We've all done it. Few share my love of the absolute epic quality that is Step Up 2, The Streets. A movie I must have seen about 8 times now. A classic of our times. So it happens. Yeah, it's one of those things. Maybe the eyeballs are just hitting us hard. I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Yeah, Lawrence and the Late Mungo review.
Oh,
Just you and me out there on our own cheering for it. Oh dear. Yeah. This ending, I think I said, was one of the reshoots. They wanted more gore. They wanted bigger payoff. But I did find it was odd after it ended because they got this big gore and then it just sort of did a fade to black.
Yeah.
Like a sort of, there you go, 92 minutes. We're out.
Yeah, we've hit the hour and a half mark where we're bailing. There you go. We can call it a film.
It's something so odd about this movie, honestly, TCG. Like there's so much going on, and there's this whole extra backstory. And it feels like they had to pad it. It should, it should have probably been much longer than the original, but you realize it. There's so much that they cut out of the original. Like there's sort of, well, basically anything outside of the house isn't in there. There's no sort of, there's only the one male kind of decoy character.
Yeah.
Meth Jake Gyllenhaal, as wife who called him.
Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
I mean, there's only three locations really in this film, isn't there? Well, no, there's only three locations because even the flashbacks take place at the house that they're currently in.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you've got-
incredibly budget savvy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
There's nothing wrong with that necessarily.
no, that's absolutely great. We like the budget savviness. There was like a cool thing in the original because the very first thing you see, literally, as the opening credits are playing, is Billy invading the house. Like he gets in by climbing up the side of it and going in. So you always have a feeling that the house is not a safe place and the outside is probably better. You've always got that in the back of your mind. In this one, it's just canny. They expand on it, so they've got a bit more of a budget to do things like this stuff in the crawl space. Yeah.
I did like, there's just so many little elements in it. Like, I don't know if the film is trying to do like callbacks or anything like that. I would have liked to have seen more. I mean, you get that bit at the end, sort of towards the end, where they're in between like the walls, aren't they? And you've got Agnes at the bottom climbing up, then you've got Billy like trying to climb down, and then in the middle you got Katie and in the wall. Which I will say, I did like that little touch where Lee is like trying to like sound out for Katie Cassidy's character, hears her and then starts hammering, and the location where she's hammering is like Billy's eye, or like is the face on the poster's eye, which I thought was quite a nice little.
That was quite nice.
Yeah,
I'll give it that. Yeah,
so
it was.
Quite cool.
It was an ambitious attempt to do a lot more. That's something else we see from these, is that they've got a bit more of the money. They're being made by. When I say more professional, I mean that basically a lot of your 80s classics are done on the cheap by people at the very start. These, they've got bigger studios behind them. So what you tend to get are these more elaborate, bombastic finales. This is an absolutely perfect example of one. It's a lot. I just, and it felt weird to follow that with the hospital, because the hospital felt a bit more low key.
Yeah, and
that thing of working in the crawl space was,
and
it was quite memorable.
And it did that whole thing, didn't it? Where hospital? Oh, okay, yeah. Everybody has to. It has to be an empty hospital.
Yes, the classic, and the idea that you can crawl across a hospital ceiling.
Yeah.
She didn't need to chuck him on a Christmas tree. Billy's got MRSA already. He's done.
Only Freddy Krueger can crawl across hospital ceilings.
True, as we know. So it's an odd choice. I'm sorry, Dylan, if you feel we're doing it down. My big problem throughout this, for all the things I'm picking up on, are just that I felt a lack of coherence, not in a way that made me feel like jarred and unsettled, but in a way that I just felt a bit confused. You know, I was watching it totally sober, having seen it once already, and I was finding myself struggling to distinguish the characters apart, trying to remember that, distinguish their personalities, trying to work out what people were trying to do. Yeah, it just it just didn't hold me. I think because it emotionally didn't work.
Right.
Other parts of it started to unravel. I mean, maybe with that said, should we move into sort of scoring it?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, we do have our special score on this. So we'll go for the thoughts and scores on here. Is that showing up okay?
It is, yeah.
All right, there we go. I'll do it this way. All right. So where is my boy Black Christmas 2006 going TCG on our special axis?
I think you'll have to tell me.
Oh, right. Of course, yeah. Okay, so like the Outer Limits, I will control the vertical, but we will control the horizontal.
Okay.
In terms of being faithful, I mean, it's kind of happening at Christmas, and there's a fair few things, but it's changed enough for me that I maybe put it slightly below center there.
Okay.
Quite modernized, but so much has been swapped out. It's, you know, it's not House of Wax, but it's changed enough that you are thrown off by quite a lot.
Right.
So I'll probably put it there for fidelity to the original.
Okay.
For quality, I'm looking at a 3.
Oh, really?
I was struggling.
I mean, I struggle, but I think a 3's a bit harsh, though, don't you think?
Is it too harsh? But
I don't know.
We can balance out. We can balance it out. I don't know. It's just that thing of a 6 to me is I'd recommend it. Check it out. Yeah, why not? Give it a watch.
Okay.
It's, you know, a 2. I don't know. I feel if you're in the sort of 4s and 5s, you might second screen it a bit. But you know, if it gets a bit dull or it loses you, you might sort of. What's the classic test? Is you'll go to the bathroom and you won't pause.
I love that.
That's when you know. It's a good way of telling how invested you are.
Yeah.
Versus a sort of. It's not the level of I actively hated that movie and got angry at it and wished it didn't exist. But it's hard for me to say. I'd say like casually watch it unless you're very interested. So like all right, possibly 3's too harsh. A low 4 for me. Well, how about yourself? Maybe we'll balance that score out.
I don't know. I mean, I was thinking, I was leaning towards a 6, but I don't know. I mean, the chat are quite sort of set on about 5 out of 12. 5 out of 12
Oh, yeah.
eyeballs. I love that. So I mean, I
Thank
would settle
you,
on a
Lucky.
5, but I mean, yeah. I mean, if we want to meet in the middle and say 4, you know, I think so. Dylan's the only one who disagrees and who says 8 out of 10. Despite the feminist cringe against Carl, lots of ketchup and enough pickle for a 2-foot sub. Amen, brother.
I suppose we haven't
Daniel did this,
rated
but
the pickle in it. You know,
no,
wasn't
I mean,
the worst.
wasn't that?
You know?
The yeah, I mean, I'll 4 maybe then. Just go in the middle if you're of your 3.
I think we can go with that. I'm getting some support here. Also, I'm noticing. Thank you, Laku. Yes, the girls look similar, personality-wise.
Yeah, do you know?
I'm not saying I need the Spice Girls. You know, where they're that coded, but they do blend into each. They blend into each other a heck of a lot.
Yeah, do you know what I found for yeah, do you know what I don't know if you felt this, but whenever a character got killed, I had to sort of take stock as to who was left because I couldn't really recall
Mm.
which one had died.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. No, that was the same problem I had. Okay, so we're maybe a little lower on the burgers, but I think the 4 is fair. Let's go for a 4. It has got some stuff going for it. I will have to adjust the layers another time because I don't have that. But we'll pop that there. I'm being persuaded to put it a little. I see chat is making the argument that it's less. It is less faithful. So go on. I'll move it slightly further below the center. You know, not the strongest, not the strongest. Maybe not as terrible as we're saying. People are talking me up. Dylan's kind of talked me up a little bit. There we go. Oh, Distant Night is there with 5.5 burgers, lots of ketchup and a pickled eye. Very good. Yeah, very nice. 5.5. So yeah, I don't know. Maybe people had a better time than we did with it, which is, you know, often what it is. Oh, hang on. Lawrence has made a good case here. And thank you again for the $2 Distant Night. Very much appreciated. You've been very generous tonight. It's a astoundingly generous chat. I'm still kind of blown away by Open Wounds dropping £70. Like,
Oh, bless. No, thank you.
Heck of a return stream. Thank you.
I know. Thank you so much, guys. Honestly, like, yeah, we do. Well, we do genuinely appreciate. We do genuinely appreciate it.
He's making a good point that, you know, Michelle Trachtenberg and Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Oh, of course, yeah. Like I say, I mean, the castings. I think the casting's brilliant. Like, I think it's just fine. I'd like to say. I mean, Dylan's not wrong with the as well. With the character types. I just felt like because I think like it sort of touches upon what you said because it was such a good cast. It was difficult for me. It was difficult to sort of pinpoint which one was going to be the final girl because they were all getting like you absolutely said they were getting around about the right amount of equal amount, sorry, of screen time, and so it was difficult to sort of pinpoint who was who, and so one of them would die, and then I was going to go, and then I'd be like, right, okay, hold on, who's left now? I've got this one. Right, that was missing. Are they missing? No, they're there. Okay, right. What's going on?
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I think a little more time establishing them would have helped. But yeah, it's just like you became a matter of wait who, and the idea of keeping it confusing who the final girl is, that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
A little, you need a. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm a dum, but I just need a little more help to anchor myself on the characters.
Yeah,
you know, little things help. Anyway, so not the strongest entry in our Platinum June Wave review, but I think a very instructive one for showing you some of the things that are very typical of the era. We'll note 0 new metal. Shockingly, no new metal at all. Usually that is pretty guaranteed to rock up. Oh, and sorry, one other thing we could have also mentioned. This bad boy.
Yeah. Do you know who got for me? Do you know who got the roughest end of the stick? Right, it was that Phyllis lady. She didn't even die at the hands of these killers. Who was just like bumping into like a wall or something, and then like having a nice giant piece of ice just sliced through her. Poor woman.
Done very dirty.
Done very dirty.
Poor Andrea Martin's character.
Worse than being killed off screen. That was.
There's a bit of a thing with this glass unicorn statue. It's sort of maybe the most iconic thing in the film because it's turned up in all versions of it. It's like the thing you have to have is this glass unicorn. That someone gets killed. It's been a while, folks, but I seem to remember it. Is it Margot Kidder's character who gets stabbed with this? Like, it's so OTT, but it's
Hmm.
stuck with people. Like, you've got to have this in.
Oh, bless. Yeah, I didn't
Oh,
know that. I didn't-
Mr. Gently Benevolent rocking up. All right, I mean, you can start
Hey.
over. The Aussie Menace himself is here. Happy New Year, Mr. GB. Glad you made it.
Bless. Yeah, we're doing Armored Core 6 tomorrow over on the channel, GB.
Yes,
Just so
indeed.
you know.
Indeed, pop on over. Well, folks, it has been. Ooh, that. Sorry, I like Daniel's comment here. That now rings like some secret insider Hollywood message. Glass Unicorn is code.
Oh no.
Maybe code for some depraved stuff.
Oh no.
It's
No,
the new
no,
Hot
no.
Frosty.
No.
Bless you, bless you. All right. Well, there we go, folks. It has been an astonishingly busy week in both the horror show and Crying Guy households. And I think we're sort of there at the end of the review. So it leaves me only to go for the horror homework. Now, I do believe we've got 3 more weeks in January. 3 more weeks in January. There is one I absolutely want to see. So just throwing out what's on the list so far. When a Stranger Calls, also starring Katie Cassidy, I would very much like to do. I feel we would be extremely remiss if we didn't cover the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You know? Got to do
Ooh,
that.
Yes.
And I don't know, an extra Thursday there. Maybe we save ourselves for a Halloween Resurrection watch.
Yes.
In that final week.
Yes.
Maybe we could do
Let's.
that.
Yes.
What are you drawn to, TCG? Do you want do you feel like Texas Chainsaw Massacre or When a Stranger Calls?
I don't think I've seen When a Stranger Calls. So yeah, I think is that what, for next week?
Let's do it. Yeah. Let's
Yeah,
keep on
do it.
Cassidying.
Let's go.
That one is particularly entertaining in terms of the aspect that I've called memification, where it's like the thing that survives in cultural memory about the film is the
Right.
element that is amplified above anything. So kind of the glass unicorn here, etc., or the way Jason was rapidly brought up to his the form we know him as in 2009's remake.
Right.
You know? So, Lucky was saying When a Stranger Calls was bad. I'm not sure, but what I know about it inclines me to believe that's going to be a tough one. But absolutely agreed. Devonte, very good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, the first When a Stranger Calls is rather brilliant. Has an legendary opening, and then goes on to be sort of weird and complex in a way that you expect from these 70s films.
Oh no.
Remake takes things in a very interesting direction. Anyway, and Agent Smith sullying himself shamelessly, if I recall.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. Well, here we I can just tell people are going to love that one. Right, there we go, folks. Your horror homework. We will be watching the remake of When a Stranger Calls with Katie Cassidy. Get your rewatch in and join us for the conversation next week. Thank you ever so much for the incredibly generous donations. I am blown away. I have an academic text on Cannibal Holocaust to order. Amazing. And thank you, TCG, for joining me on this return to streaming in 2026.
It's a pleasure as always. Happy New Year to yourself and Happy New Year chat.
Excellent stuff. All right, folks, there you go. You have had your review of, I nearly just said Mean Girls, but with eye gouging. You've had your review of Black Christmas 2006, extended, unrated US cut. And you've got your horror homework for next week. And I hope that tomorrow is a fantastic day for you. Thank you so much. You've been so generous. It's been lovely to get back to this. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon. All right. Have a great Friday. Have a great weekend after that. Thanks, y'all. Cheers.